Hi, xin chào các bạn. My name is Tina. I was an international student here in the US from Vietnam. I graduated from Texas Wesleyan University in Fort Worth, Texas 2 years ago with a bachelor's in mass communication. As an international student, I feel like there are many things that can be a struggle for new students, especially when you travel from another country and English is not your first language. The culture is different, the education system is different. So today I want to share with you some of the tips that I feel like helped me a lot in my education journey. So the first thing I think is extremely important when wanting to achieve high grades, want to do good in school, is know your deadlines. I have never missed one deadline in my whole entire college journey. So what I would do every single semester, I buy a big planner, like not the notebook planner, like a big calendar planner that have big squares that you can write in. I put it on the wall, and in the beginning of the semester you will be handed out syllabus, and in these syllabuses there are schedules for your classes, there are deadlines, there are specific things on each day, like so you know what day, what week, what are you gonna study in class, especially the deadlines. The deadlines are always there. So what I do is I gather all of these syllabuses, I highlight all the deadlines, and then I write them on the planner. So I would plan out my whole semester based on the deadlines. As the time goes by, you look at your calendar and you know, oh, how much stuff you have to do this week or this month. That's been super helpful, and it's probably saved my life, because if you don't do that, you probably won't remember every single deadline that you might have, or so you know how to organize your time accordingly. Okay, the second thing I would do is I would record the lectures. This is extremely helpful for those whose English listening skills are not as good. However, I would suggest you come to the professor and ask them if they authorize you to do that, and ask for permission to record the lectures, because there are certain states in the US where recording without consent is illegal. It is legal here in Texas where I live. So it is best if you ask the professor, hey, my English listening skills are not that good yet, so it would be really helpful if I could record your lectures so I can listen back later. Is that possible? And I think most professors would suggest this too, so they would agree for you to record the lectures. So while recording, I also take notes, and I also take note of the timestamps on the recording. For example, section 1 is that 3 minutes and 32 seconds. So every time it goes to a section, you can look down on your phone or recorder, you know the timestamp, you write it down on that section as you take notes. So when you go home, you want, oh, I want to look at section 3 or 2. You don't have to sit down and listen to the whole thing and find where the section 2 or 3 is, because you have the timestamps. Everyone procrastinates, especially in college. When there's so much to do, you get overwhelmed, and obviously you don't want to get to it immediately, and you procrastinate because of how stressed you are, and then you become more stressed because you're procrastinating so much and wasting time. Every 2 minutes I pick up my phone, scroll, watch some TikToks, whatever, and it's the biggest distraction ever. And so I would go to the library, use my laptop or the school's computer, and I don't bring my phone. It would be so productive. So I would spend, just 2 or 3 hours at the library, no phone, no nothing, and I would get everything done. But only if, you feel safe, or for me, I could walk to the library. I don't need my phone to drive. Obviously, not everyone can do that. If you can't leave your phone at home, maybe you can leave it somewhere you can't see, out of sight, out of mind. So normally I just, sometimes I put it in my backpack, I close the backpack and I put it kind of far away, just so it's not as convenient to reach and grab it. So hopefully that would prevent you from picking up that phone. Ask questions. Always ask questions. There are so many resources on campus that would help you as soon as you can ask. It is very important to talk to the professors, communicate with them. Oh, hey, I don't understand this part. What do you mean by this part? Or if you have any issues doing homework, especially if you're doing online school, please email the professor. Also, finessing tips. If the professor knows you, there are higher chance that you can negotiate. I don't suggest doing this all the time. You know, if you're sick or if you need like an extension on the deadline, if you want extra credit, it's more convenient and better if the professor knows who you are and if you have that ongoing relationship with the professor. I'm not saying trying to be friends with them, just be nice, you know, communicate, and if they know who you are, it's easier in class and it's easier for you in general. I'm not telling you how to live your life, but if you want to focus on those, you're going to miss out. You're going to miss out on parties, you know, on hanging out with friends. And I'm not saying that you need to, you know, always be studying and not make friends, or you can't go parties or anything. But find that balance and always remember why you came here, because sometimes, you know, it can be very distracting. You have great friends, all these parties. Well, now there's COVID, so not much, but in college it's fun. And I want you to go out there and experience all those fun. Get that experience, but also try to know where your priority is. As international students, your parents have to spend a certain amount of money for you to be there, to study, to go abroad and study. I always remind myself, here, my number one priority, my biggest goal, my sole purpose of coming to this country is to study, is for the education. So I always put that first and make that the first priority for my time. So those are the 4 tips that helped me achieve straight A's in college. If there are anything else that I'm missing from my peers who's also graduated from college in the US, please let me know in the comments. I feel like it would be very helpful for students coming soon. Thank you so much for your time and see you again in my next video. Bye!